Whoa! There's some colours in here today. Welcome back to Dish Up Disney. This is the series where I recreate some of the most famous dishes from Disney films. I need my envelope of wisdom, which will, thank you, which will let me know what film and what dish we are cooking. So, Disney Pixar Coco.
You gotta stay with me, boy. We don't know where.
Love the film Tamales. I do not have a clue what Tamales is, but I have seen Coco. I've watched it a few times with my son. It is a wonderful, wonderful film. Now, let's get Disney Plus up and have a little look at the scene, and we'll see what a tamales is. Okay, this is the food scene.
My abuelita, she's Mama Coco's daughter.
Oh, you're a twig, mijo. Have some more.
No, gracias.
I asked if you would like more tamales.
See?
That's what I thought you said.
I do not have a clue how to make them. I don't really know what they are, but I have seen Coco a few times, and I know it's set in Mexico. And I've got a couple of good friends who have a fantastic Mexican restaurant called Homies on Donkeys, Sandra and Smokey. I'm going to give them a call and see if they can help me out. I'm sure they can. Sure, where's my phone? Have you got my phone? Oh, it's that way. Smokey.
Chef.
How are you? How's things?
I'm fine, man. Nice to see you.
Good stuff. You know what we're here for. I'm learning about tamales.
Let's go and do it, man.
Let's pick your brain.
Yeah, well,
come on.
take a seat.
Thank you, buddy. Smokey, thanks for having me. So as you know, we're here and we're going to discuss all things from Disney Pixar's Coco. One of the things, have you watched it?
Yes.
Yes, of course you have.
I even cried, man. I'm a tough guy. I don't cry easily.
Yeah.
It touches you in the Mexican feels, for sure.
Yeah. Food? Did they get the food? The food was good? The
tamales.
Tamales? Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the quintessential family food.
Yeah.
Sunday, you were going to show up to see your parents or your aunties. You have to bring some tamales, for sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about, I'm going to absolutely butcher this again, Dia de los Muertos?
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, can you say it out just nice and cleany for me?
We would just say Dia de Muertos.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is Day of the Dead.
Dia de Muertos.
Yeah.
Dia de los Muertos is the one night of the year our ancestors can come visit us. We've put their photos on the ofrenda so their spirits can cross over.
So what does it really stand for? Like, you know...
I think it's probably the biggest cultural celebration in Mexico. It is certainly our favorite holiday. In terms of the way that we look at life and death and the relationship between that and taking that day as an opportunity to remember the people that you have loved. And it's also this belief that that is the one night of the year where they're going to be able to come visit you. And so, you know, this idea of making it into a party, really.
Yeah.
And just make sure that you have all their favorite foods, favorite drink, the things that they enjoyed most in life.
So I've got to make some of these tamales, but I don't know much about the whole process of making the tamales.
You need like a few things to have tamales, which
Yeah.
is like a filling. Usually meat and sauce.
Okay.
For the salsa, you definitely need some chilies.
Yeah.
Obviously, your masa, your dough.
Yeah.
Good quality fat and a good stock or
Okay.
a liquid of some sort, and your corn husks. That is the most traditional, quintessential tamale.
It's one of those things where really it has been passed down from generation to generation because of how laborsome it is. Your mom would teach you, you'd make them with your, your cousins, your aunties, and everyone will have some sort of role to play.
Love that.
In the movie, I think like the significance of the grandma serving tamales is
Yeah.
because it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
I spent hours making these tamales.
Yes.
You better eat them.
Yeah.
That's it. You can imagine, couldn't you? Just wrapping all... Because I've seen so many videos of people making them, but then I'm just like, I want to come straight to the source and learn from some masters.
For sure, man. Yeah.
I'm so excited to learn. Can we go learn? Yeah? Coming from my brain, it's all in this, getting the right consistency of this.
Yes, exactly. Because
Yeah.
if you get it too loose, then you're not going to be able to properly wrap it. And then when it steams, it won't actually become fluffy, like Smokey was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
And then so you just wrap it like that, sort of.
So it is a little bit sort of like rustic, a little bit snapdash. Doesn't have to be
it's
too
just making
perfect.
sure that they're in a nice sort of little parcel.
Yeah. I've never tried one before, and I'm very... Oh, mate. Look at that.
So there you go. Yeah.
I was so hungry. This is so good. I'm going to take another one of these as my reference image / put it in my pocket for later. But I need to go do some shopping. Thank you for your wisdom. Wish me luck.
Buena suerte.
Muchas gracias. Adios.
Bye.
I've just come back from Sandra and Smokies and I've learnt, I say learnt, the skills on how to make these in a day when it takes generations of passing down this recipe. So, you know, give me a break, but I'm gonna do my best. What we have is a lot of things going on, but the first thing we're gonna do is we have to soak these. Now, these are the corn husks. As you can see, they're very, brittle. We want them to be pliable. So this piece goes overnight. You're gonna leave it for like 24 hours or until they become pliable. You just go with how long you think it will take by checking them every now and then. So we can put these to one side. This is our masa, so this is ground corn. We dump this into the bowl. Now this does make a lot, so it's something that takes 24 hours, maybe even longer, so you might as well make a big batch. Sandra said we have to use lard because it's delicious flavour. So we pop that in, and then this is baking powder, just to give it a little bit of fluff. And then in here is some chicken stock, okay? So you want some nice flavour through. And I'm just gonna get my hands involved. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, and you basically don't want it to be too wet, otherwise you can't, it won't hold its shape. So you just wanna be able to spread it out like that. So you put your filling in, fold it over, and you're good to go. Underneath here, we've got all of the ingredients for the mole, okay? So what we're gonna have to do first is prepare our chilies. Now, I can't remember which one's which, but I'm gonna pronounce them all. This is a guajillo, or guaji, you have to say guajillo. One of these is an ancho, I think. This is a chipotle, and I think this is called a pasilla. More, that may be the other one, but a good mixture of chilies. Now, to prepare these, very simply, all you need to do is just take the top off, and then inside, you'll have, get a little bowl, you'll have a load of seeds. So you can just tap these out. And now you'd think, do you need to have all of these different chilies? And I say yes. None of these are too spicy either, which is good because I'm not very good with spicy things. So you're gonna put your chilies in, you need to toast them off. Then we're gonna do the same with all the other bits as well. So you've got some tomatoes, you've got some tomatillos, you've got an onion, you've got some stale bread, and we've got some garlic. Over here, we've got coriander, cumin, some cloves, some thyme, some oregano, some cinnamon, and some sesame seeds. We've got some almonds, we've got some peanuts, some pecans, and some raisins. So it is quite an intimidating recipe with lots of ingredients, but it makes amazing flavors. And lots of this stuff is sort of dry store ingredients. So once you've got it for a long period. So we're gonna take our chilies out that we've toasted. Garlic's gonna go in just while I sort myself out. Tomatoes go in. And the tomatillos, everything into a dry pan. We've got no oil whatsoever going on. And all we're gonna do now is we're just gonna char. All we're looking to do is just get bits like this. While that's happening, back to our chilies. We've got some boiling water here. We're just gonna pour this over, and then we're gonna leave these just for 15 to 20 minutes, just until they soften down. And I'm just gonna take these bits out. Now the garlic has decided to peel itself, so just dig out the skins. So you wanna spend a bit of time making sure it gets nice and charred, because that's gonna give you the good smoky hit that you all want. Now you can go in with all of your nuts. So remember, we know what those are. They can go in, and then all of your spices as well. In goes some stale bread as well. We're just gonna break this up. That is beautifully toasted, and now we can go back in with everything. And then these are your soaked chilies, so they should have gone nice and soft now. And I'm not gonna put all of that liquid in, but we'll put a little bit of it in. What I've got here is some beautiful chicken stock. So in it goes. You sit back, relax, and let it bubble away. So this mole is gonna take about 45 minutes. We're just gonna let it simmer away. I'm gonna have a quick tidy down, a quick reset, and then we'll be back. Here we go, look at this. So that is cooked down, and it is looking absolutely beautiful. What we've got here is some dark chocolate. So you've got now think bitter, so you've got sweet, earthy, smoky stuff. We're gonna melt that chocolate through. I'm gonna add just some brown sugar, just a little touch of sweetness. We've created something delicious. What you need to do now is you need to blitz this. So you've got to blitz all of those nuts, all of the seeds, the spices. And you want it to be a nice smooth paste. So I'm just gonna go a little bit. Okay, so this, it says, Oh, God. There we go. This is a beautiful, smooth mole. So there we go. Repeat with the rest. Set it to one side. I'm going to have another clear down, and then we're going to start assembling. We're in the final stretch. So in here is our beautiful blitzed mole. And then what I've got is chicken. Chicken thighs, we just roasted them off. You can use leftover chicken if you've had a roast on the Sunday. One of the most classic versions that they said, you could use pork, you could use beef, you could do like a slow braised bit of meat and just pull it apart. We're just gonna go in with some of our mole and give it a nice mix. You don't want this to be too wet, otherwise when you try and fill it, it's just gonna fall out. So your corn husks, what you wanna check for is that there's no holes, and you're just gonna lay it down. You just wanna grab a bit of your masa filling, or masa dough, should I say, and you're just gonna pat it out. Put it in, make sure there's no holes. Take some of your filling. Don't overfill. If you overfill, you're gonna have a real pickle trying to fold this over. All Sandra did, she grabbed it from the bottom, she folded it up. One went there, the other one went over. Wrap this up like so, folded that in. I'm gonna have to make a load more, use up all of this filling, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop them into the steamer. They're gonna cook for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. But what you need to do, once you put them in the steamer, just use any leftover corn and just lay it over the top to create a bit of a barrier, keep the steam in, a bit like a cartouche, I presume. And then we'll come back and check. Here they are, the beautiful tamales. They've had about 2.5 hours in the steamer, and then all you do now is you just unwrap them, and you are gifted with this beautiful little, I don't even know what to call it. I suppose a beautiful mouthful of food. So let's have a go. You know what? They're actually really tasty. I tried them at Sandra's and Smokies, and they are genuinely delicious. That masa on the outside, deep corn flavour. I think I did a good job, you know, considering this is my first time ever making tamales with very little instructions from the movie. But, you know, Smokey and Sandra gave me a few tips. I'll definitely make them again. 10 out of 10. There we go. I've been Martyn Odell, aka the Lagom Chef. Now don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Disney UK so you don't miss out on any of the other recipes. Thank you very much. See you later.